Hey, what's going on, guys? I'm here with your portfolio classwork sample 1, question 2. Here's the question that you're going to have to answer. Has to deal with Kanye West and his album sales. We're going to get to this later, though. First, we're going to work through a practice problem. So if you turn to the practice problem, it says portfolio classwork sample 1, question 2, practice. You're looking for that word practice. And we're going to read it. It's a word problem. So I'll read it. It says, Mr. Canizzo wants to eat 21,000 calories every week. If you're not familiar what a calorie is, on anything you eat, usually there's a label. So here's a label, and here's the total number of calories, and this number changes for every piece of food that you eat, has different numbers of calories in them. So I want to eat a combined total of 21,000 calories every week. Now, the question is asking how many calories will he have to eat every day in order to meet that expectation? The key word here is day. So it tells me how many calories I eat in 1 week. But I want to know how many I eat every day. So let's think about how we could figure that out. If we have a number that describes how much or how many calories we eat or I eat in 1 week, and I'm trying to figure out how many calories I eat each day, it's like trying to figure out part of a number. So I'll explain that to you. So here's a table with 7 days. This makes sense because there are 7 days in a week, right? If you count here, there's 7 days. So in that 1 week, we have 7 days, and out of those 21,000 calories, I have to get a number that tells me how many I eat each day. So you might already be thinking, how do we figure this out? Well, it's simple. If you divide the number of calories by the number of days, you will figure out how many calories you should eat each day. So there's 21,000 calories I eat in a week, and I have to divide that by 7 days in a week. Let's see what we get. So here's a calculator. 21,000, make sure you write 1,000, you write the right number, divided by 7 equals 3,000. So 3,000. Now let's use this number and fill out the table. So if on day 1 I eat 3,000 calories, and then I get to day 2, how many calories would I have now? Well, if the first day I ate 3,000, and now we add another 3,000 for the second day, that brings me to 6,000 total calories after 2 days. Let's see what we could do for the third day. Well, add another 3,000 calories I'm eating, because remember we're eating 3,000 every day, and we'll follow the trend. Plus 3,000. It's the fourth day. 12,000 plus 3,000 would be 15,000. Plus 3,000 would be 18,000. And finally, we reach 21,000 for the seventh day. So it fits. Now, when you write your answer, you have to write it in a sentence. So you should write Mr. Oh, we don't want it could be underlined. Mr. Canizzo will have to eat. Just take it out of the question. Will have to eat. Insert the number here. 3,000 calories every day in order to meet that expectation. Now look, we take most of the sentence right from the top. Mr. Canizzo, that's how you just started out. Then you take will have to eat. You don't add this he, but will have to eat 3,000 calories every day in order to meet that expectation. So if you write this sentence, show this work, and fill out this table for your question here, you will get a perfect score on that first part. But there are multiple parts. So let's read the second one, which says, Mr. Knizzo has a personal goal of eating 1,260,000 calories. This is where you need to know your place values. You see a comma 1, so here's the hundreds. And here we go with thousands. This would be a single digit thousand, a double digit, triple digit. And then when we add this comma, we get to the millions. So this is 1,260,000 calories. And when you write this number in later, make sure you write it correctly. So if I want to eat 1,260,000 calories, and I continue to eat calories at the same rate. Going at the same rate means I'm staying consistent. I'm eating the same number of calories every day. So the number before, 3,000 calories every day or 21,000 calories every week, is my rate. That's how many calories I'm eating per day. That's how many calories I'm eating per week. And using those numbers, I want to know how long will it take him or me to achieve the goal. So I want to eat this number of calories total. I'm eating this many a day, and I want to know how many days or how many weeks, you could do either or, will it take me to get to that goal. So there are two ways to figure this out. One, you take the number 1,260,000 and we need to divide that number up. I need to know how many days it's going to take me to eat this number of calories. So I need to know how many calories I eat in one single day. You figured that out already. It's 3,000 calories in a day. So I take this number, my total calories that I want to eat, divide it by the number of calories I do eat per day, and we're going to be left with a number. Let's see. So write it in like this, 1,260,000. It must look like that, divided by 3,000. And you can see it up here still. This is what it should read. And it's the date. It's 420. It's 420, right? So 420 days, because that's the number for days. All right. Now, you could also figure out for weeks. So you take 1,260,000 calories and you do the same process. Just instead of dividing this number by the number of calories I eat in a day, I want to divide this number by the amount of calories I eat every week, which is given to you. So no math here. You're just filling in numbers. So 1,260,000 divided by 21,000. Let's see. 1,260,000 divided by 21,000 equals 60. So that's 60 weeks, not weeks, weeks. So when you answer this question, you don't have to do both. I just need you to do one of them. So it's going to give you different numbers in the next problem. Just make sure you fill them in or you do the math similar to how I did this. You take the goal and you divide it by the number that's given to you on a daily rate and the number that's given to you on a weekly rate. You'll see later what I mean. Now the answer needs to be written like this. It would take Mr. Canizzo 420 days to achieve this goal. Or you could write, it would take Mr. Canizzo 60 weeks to achieve this goal. All right. So that's letter B. And later, for this letter B, it's the same thing. You see, you have a goal, same rate, and the rates could be found here. But let's get back. We have one more step. That's step C, like me. The equation y equals 2500x. And it's going to tell you what each thing is. Where x is the number of days, so this reads 2500 times the number of days. Remember, x is the number of days. So it's 2500 every day. And y is the total number of calories eating. So this reads the total number of calories eaten equals 2500 times the number of days. Remember, that's how we read these. So y is the number of calories eaten, and x is the number of days. And it reads the total number of calories eaten, y, is equal to 2500 times x, or the number of days. All right. So this is not for Mr. C, because we're going to read forward, because this describes the number of calories that Sebastian wants to eat. And it's asking, does this young man expect to eat more or fewer calories than Mr. Canizzo? Justify your response. So if Sebastian's daily calorie table is here, let's see if we can't figure this out. So on day 1, you should already figure out how many calories Sebastian has eaten, because it tells you how many calories he eats a day. And that's right here, 2,500 calories every day. X is the number of days. Calories eaten times the number of days, right? And that's 2,500. So on the first day, he eats 2,500 calories. Cool. Now let's figure this out. If on day 1 he's at 2,500, oh, and he eats 2,500 a day, then on day 2 he's going to add another 2,500 to that total, because that's how many calories he's eating every day. So 2,500 times 2 is 5,000. And he's going to continue to do this trend. 3 days. We add another 2,500 plus 2,500. 7,500. All right. And we're going to continue the table. If we added another one, 10,000. And for the sake of time, I'm just going to fill this out myself. Another 2,500 would be 12,500. This would be 15,000. And this would be 18,000. So when you answer this question now, right here, it says, does this young man expect to eat more or fewer calories than Mr. Canizzo? You got to compare them. So on day 7, Mr. Canizzo had 21,000 calories eaten. On day 7, Sebastian had 18,000 calories eaten. So now when you write your answer, you should understand that Sebastian, or this young man, so Sebastian expects to eat fewer calories than Mr. Canizzo. Because, this is important. If you do not write because, we can't mark it to full credit to the rubric. So you need to explain, justify your response. Because on day 7, Sebastian ate a total of 18,000 calories. We're just repeating the information we have here. And then you write on day 7, Mr. Canizzo ate a total of 21,000 calories. And that's it. That's your answer. So when you fill this sheet out, you need to do the table. You need to write your answers in word form, okay? Just do the same steps, different numbers.